So if somebody asked me to come inside of their ad account, dissect it, and make it so they can actually scale to get more demo bookings, this is exactly what I would do step by step. So firstly is I'd look at their campaign structure. Now, a lot of the time when I go into these accounts, I'm going to see one of two things. Either A, they're going to be running a campaign with a single ad set that's doing probably demographic targeting, interest-based targeting, lookalike audiences, everything chucked in together, and then a bunch of random creatives. That's typically what I see. Another option is they're basically going to have a ABO campaign, right? Which is where they're going to have multiple ad sets with different types of targeting in each of them, and then a different budget assigned to each of them with the same creatives laid out. Now, that does work in certain situations, but if I'm coming in to dissect an account and it's not getting results, we're going to completely scrap that, and we're going to do the following instead. First, we're going to take what our budget is. So in this case, let's assume our budget is $50, okay? Which would be about 30 British pounds. What I would do for a campaign with this amount of budget, and again, if you want to scale safely, you can actually just have multiple of these campaigns with your winning creatives, right? This can take you all the way up to 500 a day in ad spend using just this method. You're going to set up a single CBO campaign like this. Inside of that campaign, you're going to have a broad ad set, okay? Because again, our goal here is to get results right now. And inside of here, with our budget, we're going to have typically 5 to 10 creatives. Now again, on the lower end, you can afford to have 3 creatives if you want to kind of test through them faster. If you want to turn this campaign on and leave it, 5 to 10 is like the sweet spot. Now, once I've gone ahead and done that and I've changed the dynamic, I'm then going to go ahead and either A, look through all of their old creatives to see if we have any winners. If they don't have winners, I'm going to launch that campaign and I'm going to leave it for 2 weeks, okay? A week to 2 weeks. And the reason being is we want to identify which creatives, A, get us the lowest lead cost, and B, get us the best qualified booking cost, okay? So in this instance here, we have all of these creatives. Now you would assume that this creative right here, right, with a £6 cost per lead, so $7, and 111 leads, got us the best bookings. Now, yes, this did get us $20 bookings. Here's the problem. They were rarely qualified. So I actually wouldn't take that to the next level. Instead, I would look at the ones that got us the qualified bookings. So if we come down, this creative got us tons of qualified bookings. This creative got us tons of qualified bookings. This creative got us tons of qualified bookings. And again, this is also a variation of this one. So they match up here, got us tons of qualified bookings. And you're going to see a trend. It's going to typically be the same creative over and over again when you're testing it the way I was showing you. That's going to be getting you these qualified bookings. And that's not an accident. That is for a reason. So now that I've identified my winners, I'm then going to go ahead and make variations of these winners. Now, again, there's 2 ways you can do this. Option number 1 is if you're doing this and you don't have time to go out and record more videos, or you're doing this for a client, let's say, what you would want to do is you want to take the clip. So let's say this is the linear sequence of the video. So this is like the start of it, and this is like, I don't know, the 30-second mark. What we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to take out chunks of the video like this, and we're going to move it to the start so we can test fresh variations. That's option number 1 if we want to do something brand new. Option number 2 with this is we can do this, but we can just add an AI voice at the start. We can add a different video clip at the start. Anything that changes this front portion to attract a newer audience so they'd actually stay and watch the video longer, okay? Alternatively, you can also record new clips, which is typically the best option because you can take that winning script, right? So this process would look something like this. You take the original hook and you do 3 hook variations. This can be different shirt, different actor, and a completely different hook, but along the same basis. Now, what I'll also do is, let's say I'm recording these videos, I will get a completely different story made. Because again, if we now have 3 new hooks and I get 1 extra story made, I've now got 6 new videos that I can test with. Now, story, again, can be a different shirt, a different example if you're giving an example in the video, and also a different person presenting, right? This one here typically pulls the highest lever, just having a completely different individual on the camera. And then finally, the offer, you're going to keep the same offer. No need to change it. Now, what does this look like in practice? So after we took those winners and we graduated them, right? We took them, we made our variations, we graduated them up. What was the result? You're going to see it right here, okay? So what you're going to notice is our cost per lead on average is a lot higher. But if we scroll down, you're going to see something very interesting, right? What you're going to notice is this here is going to represent a booked appointment. This is going to represent the funnel we used, which in this case is the lead form booking funnel. And this here is going to represent the creative, as you can see, 22. Now watch, 22 has 1 booking, 19 has 1 booking, and 24 has 1 booking. But if we go down, this is allocated to 22. So that's 22, 22, 22, 22, 22, 22, 22, 22, 22. These are all bookings within the same time period from 22, right? And this keeps going down and down and down. And so that is how you identify your winners. I would then, again, I would completely axe this creative because yes, it's getting leads, right? But they're not booking. And if they're not booking or they are booking and they're unqualified, I don't care if you're getting a cheaper lead cost than this one. Let's say, I'm just going to get rid of you. And it's going to be the same situation with anything else once it has that spend. Okay, so this is a quick outro for if I do YouTube videos because typically I forget this part at the end of the video. Again, if you ever need help with any of this, I leave my Instagram linked below where I kind of post all this content. Drop me a message on Instagram. I'm always happy to reply. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy the content. Thank you.